Hey guys, so you're looking for the channel that covers all things photography. You've come to the right place. Hit the subscribe button now. Hey guys, I'm Jade holding from Photo Factor. Welcome to chapter 3 of some Photoshop basics. In this series we're going to cover probably the most integral or rather defining component of Photoshop, and that is layers. Layers is going to be an absolute game changer for you. So in this first part of 5 parts, we're going to just help you understand a little bit about what layers are. So let's dive straight in. So basically layers are the building blocks of any image in Photoshop, and I think it's important to understand what layers are and why you should use them. And I think the easiest way to demonstrate that is to think of layers as separate sheets of paper or actual photos stacked on top of one another. And each layer has its own pieces of content. So let's take a look at the layers panel. You'll find it over here to the right. If it's not showing for you, you can just scroll on over to the window menu bar and click on that and scroll down to layers, and it will show up here to the right. And so I just want to compound this a little bit, but I can just click on the little top arrow here and you'll see it jumps into an expanded window option. Let's just narrow down these windows a little bit so that the layer panel becomes more prominent. Right, so you'll see here we have 4 layers. We have a background layer, the green flower layer, which is the prominent image here in the background, and then we have a pink flowers layer at the top left here, and an orange flowers layer at the bottom left. Now, when you first start working with layers, they won't be conveniently named like this. It will be called layer 1, layer 2, or layer 3. You can change the name of the layers, which we'll get into in a follow-up session in one of the next episodes. And so so you'll see here we have now the background layer, and then these 3 layers here, each with separate content. This little icon here to the left, you'll see it's duplicated all the way down next to each layer. And if you click on one of those, or if you click on the icon, you'll see here to the left that layer automatically disappears. It's not gone, it's just hidden. And I can do that with all the layers and bring them back in whichever order I want. It's sometimes just convenient to hide layers, so whilst I'm working on other layers and just get them sort of out of the way. Now, if I want to hide all the other layers without going to each one and clicking on each icon, a quick simple way to do this, and using the Option key on a Mac or Alt on a Windows machine, Windows keyboard, and just click on the icon of the layer you want to remain in view, and all the other layers then become automatically hidden. It's much quicker than trying to hide each one separately or individually. So you'll see now, once I've hidden all those layers, that the orange flowers layer, which is the only layer we currently want visible, is standing or sitting above this gray and white checkerboard, which basically represents transparent pixels. In other words, this area here contains no data or content whatsoever. And so your orange flowers layer is just kind of floating above, nothing. Now, if we want to bring all those layers back, it's a simple matter of, once again, going to the icon, pressing down Options on the Mac keyboard or Alt on the Windows keyboard, and all your other layers reappear. Now, the benefits of layers is that you can edit elements of the image independently without affecting the rest of the image. And to illustrate this, let's say we want to move the orange flowers layer. So I just click on that, and we select the move tool up here in the tools bar, and I now click on that layer and I can move it around to wherever I please without it affecting the other parts of the image or the other layers. And this remains true for any other edits that I want to do, that I want to have applied to this layer only. Now, if I want to move more than one layer at a time or affect more than one layer at a time, I can go down to the layer that I wish to choose in addition, and holding down the command key on a Mac or control key on a Windows keyboard, I just click on that layer as well, and you'll see now they are both selected. And now if I use the move tool again, you'll see both those layers move in sync. And so here's a little bonus tip for you. Here in the move tool, for example, you'll see there is in the toolbar, the tools options bar, there is a little prompt here to auto select, which is by default selected. And so now remember we had the orange and pink flowers layers already chosen. I now want to select the green flower layer. So there's two ways I can do that. I can either just go to that layer manually and click on it, or let's just go back a step, or because the auto select box is ticked, if I just click on that layer, boom, we now have it selected. And so I trust you now have a rudimentary understanding of what layers are, and perhaps you understand how they might be of benefit to you. There's so much more to learn here though, so do stay tuned. We're going to move on to part 2, where we're going to explore a little bit more about layer basics. See you there.